Hello and welcome to a very chilly Gdansk in the north of Poland. We actually flew here last night from what we thought was a very chilly England, but yeah, it's about 5 or 6 degrees colder here. I think today is -3 here in Gdansk and there's a real breeze coming off the Baltic Sea, but it is so beautiful. The reason we're here is because tomorrow morning we've actually just booked a bus from here in northern Poland all the way into Russia. We're going to bring you along with us, but for now, let's have a little walk around Gdansk and see what we can film before our fingers fall off. It's so cold. Dzień dobry. A jedną kolbasa, proszę. Dziękuję.
Dziękujemy.
Do widzenia.
Do widzenia. Okay, our fingers are definitely falling off now, so we're gonna head back to the hotel before we completely lose them.
So I'm just making a few last minute changes to our finances before we leave tomorrow for Russia. As you may know, at the moment our cards don't work in Russia if you have international cards. So we've actually had to draw out a load of cash in advance. And I'm just logging into the computer to make a few last minute changes to our money and where we've put our money before we head into Russia for the next couple of months. Actually, over the past year or so, as we've been earning some money from YouTube, we've been trying to put our money into different places so it works for us a little bit. However, some of the usual strategies this year haven't really been working very well. So I've been trying to explore different ways to make our money work for us. And yeah, with inflation, the stock market crashing, it's been a bit of a tough year overall, which is why actually a few months back when I was doing some reading, I was really excited to find out about a new investment opportunity that this year in particular is reaching completely new heights. It's actually one that isn't necessarily affected by the performance of other assets like stocks, bonds and real estate. And yeah, I'm not actually talking about crypto or NFTs or anything like that. I'm actually talking about fine art. One fact I actually found out about recently was the big banks like the Morgan Stanleys of the world, etc., actually have completely separate divisions for investing in things like fine art. And that got me thinking, we see museums all across the world filled with millions of dollars of artwork. And how on earth could an average person like me or you get our hands on just a little piece of an investment like that? Well, today's sponsor, Masterworks, actually allows the likes of you and I to invest in the same calibre of contemporary art with names like Picasso, Monet and even Banksy. The amazing thing is that with Masterworks, you can actually do it for a fraction of the cost of what the millionaires pay. When I was reading about Masterworks, the most amazing thing for me was their track record. I think it speaks for itself, and with numbers like that, I think it's easy to see why almost 600,000 people have already signed up to Masterworks, and why the paintings they hold are being sold out within minutes. It's actually really tough to get your hands on one of the Masterworks paintings, but our subscribers can actually skip the wait list and get priority access by using the link in the description below. On that note, I'm going to make a few more last minute changes to our finances before we're shut off effectively for 2 months. And yeah, we'll see you in the morning.
Morning, we're off to the bus station. And we planned this part of the trip for a few months now. We actually meant to go to Russia from Kazakhstan, but we couldn't get Matt's visa sorted in Kazakhstan. That's why we sorted it out in the UK, and now going together now. Felt really chilled the whole way through, but now just want to be there, to be honest. Want to cross that border, get there, fly to Siberia, and be with my family. Everything's been so long and takes such a long time to get everywhere. Just want to be there now. By the way, Poland is absolutely beautiful, and we'll go around Gdansk at some point properly because I just love it. Poland's got the best bakeries, I think, in the world. Well, from what I've seen, my own personal preferences.
This is our third Polish city, isn't it, by the way? We've been to Warsaw, Krakow, and now Gdansk. What's your favourite?
Krakow. And then Gdansk.
Yeah, I don't know. I would have said Krakow up until yesterday, but I don't know. I really, really like Gdansk.
Yeah.
Really, really
it's a
like
lovely
it.
city.
It's close now.
Well, let's see how the border crossing go. Could be our hometown soon. Going for here a lot. Yeah. As we headed east out of Gdansk and towards the border, both the weather and our nerves started to get worse, almost simultaneously. We've crossed lots of land borders over the past few years, but it seems like we'd been building up to this one in particular for a while, and when we finally arrived at the Mamonovo crossing, the tension was palpable.
Well, we made it. The border was actually pretty simple, to be honest. Overall, it took a couple of hours. There were a couple of people that were held behind and we decided to wait for them, but eventually the bus had to leave. And yeah, that's often the case with things like that. It's often a lot easier than you expect or make out in your head. And then eventually when we got into Kaliningrad city last night, we quickly grabbed a SIM card and then came straight to the apartment that we're in right now. I'll give you a quick tour. Bathroom, bedroom, kitchen.
Is there a storm coming?
I think so. I was just looking out of the balcony. You can hardly even see that building. Oh my god.
Shall we go for a walk?
Let's go for a walk. Kaliningrad's actually Russia's most western province. It's actually the only province in the whole of Russia that's a time zone behind Moscow. And it's often dubbed the Russian outpost inside the European Union. Kaliningrad itself is surrounded by European Union and NATO countries. And the population here is about 1 million, mainly Russians. But prior to the Second World War, it was actually called Konnigsburg and was part of Germany.
My favorite supermarket in Kaliningrad, Kant Market. I would imagine it's named after Immanuel Kant because he was born and actually died here as well. His grave is actually in Kaliningrad.
So when you're vlogging in this weather, 3 things go wrong. Firstly, because it's so cold, you forget everything you want to say. Secondly, the camera dies within minutes. And thirdly, on that note, because we're holding the camera, our fingers turn into icicles within seconds. So on that note, we're going to go inside, grab a coffee and maybe a sweet treat.
We're gonna grab Prishki. You've been talking about them the whole morning. Don't pretend like you haven't. Oh my god. He got pushed down by babushka.
Да, можно пока 2 пончика, пожалуйста. 2 по-любому, потому что 1 мало. А это пончики или насколько? Наедитесь. Вот такие. Тогда
3-4.
здесь. Да. Можно разную начинку взять. Спасибо большое.
So what have we got? Apricot jam?
Yeah.
What do you call this? Doshi delish?
Yeah, boiled condensed milk
Yep.
and I always forget the name.
Black currant, yeah. And 2 coffees.
Which one? I'm gonna start with Dr. Dish.
Good.
There's nothing beats a fresh donut. If you like donuts. If you don't like donuts.
Something goes.
They're generously filled as well.
That was really nice. But there is a bug coming.
But the stairs are
Slippery?
slippery AF.
No, they're just much better in St. Petersburg. There's like a culture there with the donuts everywhere.
There's also, for me, they're like a memory of childhood as well, because they're the exact type of donuts that you get on like Brighton Pier and places like that.
Yeah, apart from they're better.
We're here.
Walking around Kaliningrad, around the area where we're staying, you can see that there is a twang of the European architecture, but to be honest, majority of the buildings are pretty much the same as majority of other Russian cities.
Kaliningrad actually suffered a lot during the Second World War, and much of the architecture of the old city was left in complete ruins by a British bombing campaign and a massive Soviet siege. At the post-war Potsdam Conference, the area of Kaliningrad, or Konnigsburg as it was then known, was given to the USSR as part of the peace settlement and became its westernmost province. Following this, much of the German population of the area was forcibly sent to East Germany, and Kaliningrad itself was repopulated with mainly ethnic Russians and Ukrainians. To match its completely new identity, the city was rebuilt from the ground up in a typical Soviet style. But not all of the cities like that. We're actually on Immanuel Kant Island at the moment, and you could be forgiven when you're here for thinking we were still in Germany. We've got the old Christmas market being set up and then the church in the background. And yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous actually. And also there's quite an interesting story about this island in particular and the 7 bridges that were built to cross onto the island from the city itself. We actually watched it in a real life lore video about Kaliningrad, and I thought it was incredibly interesting.
I really can't wait to jump into the snow. If they have the same amount of snow in Siberia, I'm not having it.
You're going to jump into that?
No, I'm leaving. I'm not gonna stay.
I mean, you could jump in that, to be fair.
Definitely dog
I'll
poop's
take a
in
coffee.
there. Definitely dog.
You reckon?
You know, 100%.
So the area we're in here is called the Historical Centre, and it definitely feels like you're sort of back in an old town of Europe, but actually a lot of this area is rebuilt quite recently. It looks very authentic, but yeah, a lot of the buildings are actually very modern. No. To be honest, I mean, it should be me because it's always me that gets it.
It's true.
I think it's happened to me definitely over 5 times in my life, but
It happened to you in Poland.
it did.
Do you remember?
Yeah, not this time. The time before in Warsaw, wasn't it?
Hysterics. It was so funny.
That was as soon as we'd left the house as well. As soon as we'd left the apartment.
Did you see what you there?
Yeah, it was that guy, the one I walked past earlier. Get him. Get him. Keep going, you haven't got him yet. I don't know why my hand's freezing. I think because the snowball caught me on the way when he threw it.
Oh, it scratched you as well.
Did I?
Yeah. It's just...
We'll get him.
I remembered him.
We will find you.
I remembered him. It gets dark really early here in Kaliningrad, about 4 o'clock, which is actually pretty soon. So we're going to grab an early dinner and head back to our apartment.
Mierzysz. Whew. Well, that was absolutely lovely. We didn't actually talk about it because we ordered the exact same thing that we ordered in the last video. 2 borscht and a silver podshubi, or a herring under a fur coat salad.
But, to be fair, we filmed this video
Like a month ago nearly now.
yeah,
So yeah.
we don't eat it every day.
But yeah, we were sitting there, weren't we? We were like, let's have that. And then after we'd ordered it, we thought,
Isn't it the same?
it's exactly the same. So yeah, we're actually gonna walk towards home now.
Yeah.
It's pretty chilly, but yeah, let's walk through the square here because the Christmas lights look very beautiful.
Yeah.
We just got back to our apartment. It was about half an hour walk, and actually it got chilly. It went to -12. I'm not sure if it's normal weather for Kaliningrad, and the city is actually lovely itself. We only had a day here. We could have had more, but I just really wanted to get to Kemerovo and see my family. So we're flying to the mainland Russia tomorrow morning, but that's gonna be the next video. And on that note, I'm gonna finish this video here. So thanks for watching, and see you in the next one where we're gonna see all my family. I'm so excited.
Oh, and PS, on that note, don't forget to check out Masterworks using the link that's on the screen right now. And yeah, once again, thanks for watching. And we'll see you tomorrow morning for what's going to be a long, long journey.
Oi! Englishman, can I have your documents? You will never get this! You will never get this!